Hey, welcome to another great episode here at the Pastor's Pantry Cooking School. I'm your host, Chef Sam Peters. Good to have you with us for a dessert class, making one of our famous desserts here, sweet potato pie. We're going to get all southern on you today. Well, as we get into our sweet potato pie, we're going to have Joyce share with you all the ingredients as I get everything all set up.
All right, this recipe is just for one pie. It's going to serve 8. You need a 1/3 cup butter softened, 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 eggs lightly beaten, 3/4 cup evaporated milk, 2 cups of mashed sweet potatoes, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, be sure and use the real stuff, 1/2 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 9-inch unbaked pie shell. Now, we're making 2 pies, so what we're putting in here is going to be a lot more than what I just read to you, so hang in there with us.
That's okay. We like to make a lot. Well, we're going to start off. We need to cream the butter and the sugar. So I've got my bowl for my stand mixer. We have some softened butter here. We're going to add our sugar on top of that. And then I'm going to pull our mixer over here into camera view so y'all can see what's going on. Not that you'll be able to see great into the bowl, but we want you to see a little bit. So we're just going to kind of let that cream itself together. I'll slowly speed it up. Okay, so we've got all of our butter and sugar creamed together. I'm going to turn that off here just for a second. We're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Let me knock that down in there better. There we go. Okay, we're going to add in our milk, our sweet potatoes.
Now, how we did these sweet potatoes is I bought just regular sweet potatoes, peeled them, diced them into chunks, boiled them in water just like you would for mashed potatoes, and I got them pretty soft, and then I just mashed them with a potato masher, and then I actually put them in the stand mixer with this same beater blade and just mashed them up until they became mashed potato consistency.
All right, so we have our sweet potatoes in here. I'm going to start mixing this a little bit, just on low speed. Start getting that all blended in. And then to that, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla. Our cinnamon, our salt, and I want to grate some nutmeg to go in there as well.
And remember, what we're making is for 2 pies, so
Yes.
It's a lot more than the recipe I just read you. But you can easily double this recipe.
All right, got about 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg in there, maybe 1/4. Okay. Turn this up 1 notch, and then we're going to add our lightly beaten eggs. Get this completely well mixed.
I'm splashing a little bit.
Well, not too bad. I just want to get it as smooth as I can. Okay, so the sweet potato pie mixture is all mixed together. You can see that's not a hard recipe to make. Then we just need to pour this into our pie shells. Try to split these between 2 different pies.
Go heavy on them.
I'm going heavy, but
All right.
I don't want to overcook it either. All right. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe we'll make some little mini
There you go.
sweet potato pies for us. How about that? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit more nutmeg on the top of each of these, because I think nutmeg really sets off a sweet potato pie. just a little bit more nutmeg. This is going to go into a 425-degree oven for 15 minutes, and then we're going to reduce the heat down to 350, and we're going to cook it for about 30 minutes longer until the pie gets completely done. And we'll show you what that looks like when we get out and get it ready to cool. Okay, so our sweet potato pie is out of the oven. It's been cooling for a little while. We're going to top this with a cinnamon spiced whipped cream. So I want to show you how we do that. I've got a cool little tool to do it. Okay, we have this Your Kitchen. Is that where I'm at, Joyce?
That's good? Where you're at.
Okay, we got this Your Kitchen. You keep this in the fridge, keep it nice and cold, and it's a nitro-charged whipped cream canister. It's really cool. I'll show you how it works in a minute. But you want to sort of pre-mix your whipped cream ingredients. So we have about a cup, maybe a little bit more, 8 to 10 ounces of heavy whipping cream. So we have that in there. To that, we're going to add a couple good pinches of cinnamon.
Because this is going to be a spiced
Yeah, it'd be a
to put on
cinnamon,
top of this sweet potato pie.
spiced cinnamon whipped cream. It's going to be delish. And then we're going to add a little bit of vanilla, about a half a teaspoon. And then, 1 or 2 heaping tablespoons of powdered sugar, confectioner sugar. Sweeten it up a little bit, okay? All right, that's all we need for that. I'm going to put it in this mason jar. What I like to do is shake it up here first, and then we're going to add it to our whipped cream dispenser. Give it a good little shake. And then we just pour this down into that dispenser. Okay. We screw on our top. And then we want to add our nozzle. I'm going to put a fancy nozzle on here this time, I think. Then you get one of these little nitrogen canisters, okay? We just buy a whole big box of them at a time. And we have this little tool that lets us screw this down on there. I want to get across there. There we go. Now listen. There we go. Okay, so that charged it. So once we have it charged, just remove the into. We'll put a little cap on here. And then we just need to give it a few good shakes. Okay? And then it's ready to put on the sweet potato pie. So there's a great shot of our sweet potato pie. Doesn't that look delicious? Perfectly done. Man, you should have seen what came out of the oven. We'll post some pictures out on our Facebook page. And then we've got our neat little divider. Okay? And this just tells me where I need to cut it. Makes nice little dotted lines for me. That way I can get everything proportioned nice. I'm just going to cut one piece right now, Joyce.
Because we want everyone to have the same size.
Well, sure. We don't want them fighting over it, right?
Yeah. But we won't have you watch us cut the whole thing. We'll just
No, I'm just going to
piece.
cut one slice for now. I just want to get this plated for you. Looky there. That look awesome. Still steaming. All right. Now let's hit this with a little bit of our whipped cream. There we go. All right. Let's get a shot of that. Got that? Doesn't that look fantastic?
Yeah, we need to take some food porn of that. That looks great.
Look at that. Wow. All right, we're going to give this a try. Been smelling it for a while, been anxious to give it a try. I want to get a little bit of that spice whipped cream. A good luscious bite here. Oh my goodness. So delicious. Subtly sweet, not overly sweet, just subtly sweet. Very smooth, very creamy. And then that little bit, that spice whipped cream on the top of that is absolutely perfect.